Hey y'all, hope you're well. Happy Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope you take time today for some introspection, maybe read Letter from Birmingham Jail. Spent some time today making some cards for friends. Gonna have burgers tonight. I don't know, it's a low-key day today. Tomorrow starts the first day of class, aside from my accelerated course that I talked about in my last vlog. Just keeping it low-key.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
So help me God. The first woman Vice President of the United States of Asian descent and the first person of Jamaican heritage.
The American story depends not on any one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us, on we the people who seek a more perfect union.
Hey y'all, I feel like I haven't talked to you as much this week. It has been a little bit of lots of different things and a little bit of same old, and the lots of different things are all happening in the digital space, with classes starting and graduation requirements needing to get done and books to purchase and all that stuff. So I haven't really been filming. I don't want things to get monotonous, but at the same time I want to bring you along, so I wanted to just check in and say hi today. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with the start of a new semester. I think that's always been the case for me, that when I'm starting a pattern and I don't really have the rhythm quite down yet, it can be a little unnerving. I really want to get the pattern down quick so that I can figure out how to perfect the pattern and project success. So I am trying to organize and get on track and be ready now that I finally have all of my syllabi. I feel like my head's in a million different places right now. but I did want to check in and say hi. Hello, hello, hello. Read an article for one of my classes called From Safe Spaces to Brave Spaces. It's really good. It was a really interesting read. It talked about the ground rules we set when we have conversations specifically around social justice and what those ground rules end up reinforcing that are unintended constructs that continue the warped power structures and systemic oppression and things like that in the conversation that tend to favor, or that kind of flat out favor, the aggressors rather than those who are experiencing the oppression. So it was a really interesting read. I highly recommend you read it. Again, it was called From Safe Spaces to Brave Spaces, and I was reading that for my Christian ethics class. Another thing I've been thinking about today is this metaphor that I use when describing what it feels like to sort of get into the rhythm of different stages in your life. I call that sort of initiation into the stage, the freshman year of the stage. You are just kind of trying to figure out what is the structure here and how do I fit into it and what are my responsibilities to this structure and what's the cultural context that I'm in. You end up sort of failing a lot, or what feels like failure, because you're trying to learn a structure that it seems like everybody else knows and can leverage. So I think about my undergrad freshman year. Is it heartbreaking if it seems like everybody else is out on a Saturday and you're home? Well, when you're a freshman, it kind of feels that way because you feel like you're failing at socializing, but by the time you're a senior, it's kind of nice to be home on a Saturday night. And I feel like you could feel that way in jobs too. Your freshman year of the job, when you're trying to figure out what are the social structures here that are at play, and how does HR really work, and what sorts of things is appropriate to say to my boss or not. I feel like there's just a lot of emotions attached to this freshman year because you're dealing with anxiety and lack and identity. How do I fit into this structure? And I think that we can apply that not to just, starting a new job or starting school, like a new level of schooling, but I think we can apply that to lots of things. I think you could apply that to like freshman year in marriage, right? Or freshman year of the pandemic. And I think freshman year doesn't necessarily have to be a year. It's sort of a mindset. If you're feeling like you're in a freshman year space, I want to encourage you that sophomore year is around the corner and it's pretty inevitable, and junior year is coming when you feel pretty cool and you're sort of the rising senior, and then senior year arrives and you feel very satisfied in where you are and maybe a little over some of the repetitiveness, and you're dreaming about new freshman years. So I want to encourage you that if you're feeling the freshman year vibe, that does not last forever.